Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing. Don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about NXT for August 17th, 2021. Now with this show, man, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was decent. It was okay. You know, it was a lot better than last week's show. I'll tell you that much. Last week's show, I wasn't into last week's show because everything that happened last week with all the releases and all that stuff with NXT. But this episode of NXT was a lot better than last week's. We had a great tag team championship main event with MSK and Imperium. We had the face to face with Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross. I thought that stuff was good too. But I probably would have swapped them around. I probably would have had the Joe and Kross face to face start off the show. Since you want to have that bang, you want to start off the show with that bang. I would have had that start off the show and have the tag team championship match main event the show be the last thing that we saw on the show. That's what I would have done because it would have been more of an impact. But yeah, the show was good. It wasn't perfect by any means. It wasn't perfect. There were some things that I did question on the show. Like there were some things that I didn't agree with. And just like what I said before, there were some things I would have changed around, with the Joe and Cross stuff in the NXT Tag Team Championship match. I would have swapped them around. But yeah, man. So yeah, this is actually the go home show for NXT Takeover 36. And at first, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I did not know that NXT Takeover was this Sunday. I didn't know it was this Sunday. I really didn't. And so that just shows you how fast this week is going by. Cause this week, man, is a busy week this week. We have we have NXT, we got AEW Dynamite, we have Rampage, we have Impact Wrestling, we have Emergence that's on Friday, and Saturday we got SummerSlam, and then Sunday we got NXT Takeover, man. So this is a busy week, man. This is gonna be a busy week for this show, and it's gonna be a busy week for a lot of content creators, man. But yeah, man. So yeah, that was NXT, man. And yeah, man, just like what I say in my intro all the time, if you haven't done this already, hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded because I'm here every single week. Tuesdays for NXT, Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Friday for AEW Rampage, and Saturdays and Sundays is for the pay-per-views, whether it's WWE, AEW, or Impact Wrestling. So in this case, it's gonna be WWE for the pay-per-views. So yeah, man. So we started off the show with Diamond Mine. So that's Malcom Bivens, Roderick Strong, and Hideki Suzuki. So again, no Tyler Rust. Tyler Rust was released from his contract, so he's not a part of Diamond Mine anymore. And so yeah, so Malcolm Bivens, he grabbed the microphone, he spoke, and he called Kushida a coward for not showing up tonight because there was supposed to be a championship match, a cruiserweight championship match with Kushida and Roderick Strong tonight, but we didn't get it because they said that he wasn't medically cleared to compete. And so yeah, Bivens, he had called Strong the Messiah of the Backbreakers. And so Bivens, he said that Strong, he's ready. He's ready for a championship match tonight. He's ready for a cruiserweight championship title opportunity tonight. And so yeah, so he kind of made like an open challenge. So an open challenge, and so we had Ilja Dragunov. He came out, interrupted, and we had an impromptu match. And so yeah, man. So it was Roderick Strong with Diamond Mine in his corner versus Ilja Dragunov. So yeah, so both of these guys, they try to out wrestle each other. And so we had a chop to Dragunov, which was loud, man. And so yeah, at that point, both of these guys, they were going back and forth with chops, man. I'm telling you this much, man. I would not want to get chopped by Roddy, man. Ask Daniel Bryan about that. You know, with his chest when he chopped the crap out of Daniel Bryan at that Royal Rumble that year. What was it? It was the greatest Royal Rumble, and that Saudi show. And his chest was beat red too, man. Daniel Bryan's. So yeah, I do not want to get in a chop off of Roddy, man. So yeah, so we had a jumping knee to Strong. And so we had a drop kick to Dragunov off of the rope. And so both of these guys, again, were trading strikes. I mean, chops. And so Suzuki, he had distracted Dragunov at one point. And so Strong, he had tripped up Dragunov on the steel steps. So yeah, right after that, we had Strong, he had the Uranagi to Dragunov on the ring apron. And so that's when Strong, he took control of the commercial break. Or he took control of the match during the commercial break. Picture in picture, of course. And so Dragunov, he started fighting back. And he started hitting elbow strikes to Strong. And then Dragunov hit like 2 German suplexes on Roderick Strong. And so at one point we had Dragunov, he was bleeding all over his face. It was a lot of blood too, man. I don't know where it came from, but he was bleeding all over his face. And then his blood got on Roddy's back. So Dragunov, he hit the back suplex, turned into a bridge to Roderick Strong, and he kicked out. And so we had a jumping knee. We had a jumping knee to Dragunov in midair, so that was nice. And so Dragunov, he tried to go for his finishing move, that torpedo Moscow, and so that's when Strong caught him with that jumping knee. And so he went for it again, and he caught Strong with the torpedo Moscow again to Strong to win the match. So Ilja Dragunov wins the match. And so right after the match, Dragunov, he called out Walter to the ring, so he kept yelling his name over and over and over again in the mic. And so Walter never came out. He never came out. And so that was it. That was it with the match. So this is a hard hitting match for this, for both of these guys. And it was a great match. But one thing I don't agree with, man, I don't understand why this match happened. Like Roderick Strong and Ilja Dragunov, they don't have nothing to do with each other. Like they don't have no beef with each other. So why are they fighting? And then like none of these guys can lose. Dragunov can't lose. Strong can't lose either, man. Dragunov is the #1 contender for the NXT UK Championship, so he can't lose. And yeah, he have a match on TakeOver this Sunday, so he couldn't lose. And Roderick Strong is the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight title, so he can't lose either. So yeah, they booked themselves in a corner with that one. Like they can't lose, man. They can't lose. #1 contenders can't lose, and champions should never lose. Right before a title defense, man. And Dragunov, man, he lost last week to Pete Dunne, and I questioned that too. I didn't agree with that. And so yeah, there was no way that Dragunov was gonna lose again this week. So yeah, I would have never booked this match. Even though it was a great match, I would have never booked this match. And so yeah, man. And yeah, and why would you compete? Why would you want to compete days before TakeOver, man? TakeOver is on Sunday, and you competing on the last show before TakeOver. And you're gonna fight. You're gonna be in the ring with a guy like Walter, man. Shouldn't you rest? Shouldn't you want to rest for your match against Walter? Like, why would you want to step foot in the ring? That's my thing. But yeah, man, you just you just putting more damage on your body. You just putting more damage on your body the more you step foot inside that ring. When you have a championship match, the most important championship, that you're fighting for on Sunday. So yeah, man. I wouldn't compete. I wouldn't compete days before I have a championship match. That's what I wouldn't do. So yeah. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had the vignette for Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, their feud and their takeover match. And so yeah, this is Cole versus O'Reilly 3. And so yeah, so basically they were going over their history in the Undisputed Era. And so Cole, he had said that, you know, if it wasn't for me, the Undisputed Era wouldn't even be a thing. You wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be you wouldn't even be main eventing stuff if it wasn't for me. The Undisputed Era was built around Adam Cole. So that's why he said that. And he's right, absolutely right. If it wasn't for Adam Cole, the crowd wouldn't be chanting Undisputed. Adam Cole, he was the Undisputed Era. He was the Undisputed Era. And dude, he is not lying. He is not lying about that, dude. He legit. That's a shoot, man. That's a shoot. That is not. It's not kayfabe. It is a shoot. Where would the Undisputed Era would have been if Adam Cole wasn't there? Adam Cole was clearly the star. He was clearly the star of the Undisputed Era. So yeah. So yeah, he's absolutely right. If it wasn't for him, the Undisputed Era would not have gained this much success. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. So Cole and O'Reilly feud, or the Cole and O'Reilly 2 out of 3 falls match is this Sunday. And I'm going with Kyle O'Reilly to win the match because this could be Adam Cole's last match in WWE. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that we had Hit Row. So that's Isaiah Swerve Scott, who is the NXT North American Champion. Ashante, the Adonis, Top Dolla, and B-Fab. They spoke. They talked about Legado del Fantasma. Yeah, them stealing Isaiah Swerve Scott's grill and all that stuff, and just disrespecting Hit Row. And so Legado del Fantasma, or not Legado del Fantasma, we had Santos Escobar. He interrupted via satellite. And so, yeah, Escobar, he talked about Hit Row burning up that luchador mask last week. And so he understood why they burnt up that mask. And so, he's not, Escobar, he said he wasn't upset about it. He wasn't upset about it. And so Escobar, he wanted Swerve to come to the back, because he had something he wanted to return to him. And so he brought out the grill, Isaiah Swerve Scott's grill. And so he wanted Escobar to go to the back and get the grill. And so, because Escobar, he said he doesn't want to come out there because he doesn't trust Hit Row. He think that Hit Row is gonna gang up on him. So that's why, Escobar, he says that he trusts Isaiah Swerve Scott, to come in the back. So come in the back and take your grill. And so yeah, so Swerve, he tried to go to the back, and Hit Row stopped him. They tried to stop him like, hey man, what are you doing? Why are you going to the back? It's a trap. Like, why are you going to the back? And then Swerve, he was like, I gotta get my grill. I gotta get my stuff. And so yeah, so Swerve, he went to the back to the parking lot because that's what Santos Escobar he was. He was in the parking lot. And so yeah, we had Mendoza and Wild. They walked behind. They were behind Swerve, and so Swerve had saw them from behind, and he just threw his jacket in their face, and so that's when they started fighting. So it was a 3-on-1 beatdown, and so you had the rest of Hit Row. They ran out to the parking lot, and they evened up the odds. So yeah, so they were going back and forth and all that stuff. And we had B-Fab. She even got involved in that. B-Fab, she had grabbed a pipe, and she hit one of the Legado del Fantasma guys with the pipe. And so Swerve, he ended up taking his grill back, and so he ended up saying Buenas noches, which is good night in Spanish. So that was it with that. And so yeah, the crowd, man, I don't know what it is about the crowd. They didn't know who to cheer for and who to boo for. Like, they really didn't. Like with Hit Row, when they first came out, like, they cheered Hit Row to the ring. And so right after Hit Row got the one up on Legado del Fantasma, they booed him. They booed Hit Row. And that's the problem. That's the problem when you put two heels in the ring. Legado del Fantasma is a heel faction. Hit Row is a heel faction. They are portrayed as heels. And that's why you can't do that. You can't do a heel versus heel. Like, somebody got to be the babyface, and the other team got to be the heel. Just like you can't do good versus good. It's always good versus evil. You can't do evil versus evil. It always has to be good versus evil. And in this case, it's evil versus evil. And somebody got to come out as the good guy in this. You know, you can't have both guys come out, both guys going into the match as evil. You can't. Like, dude, like it's not gonna work. Like, it's not gonna work. But yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had L.A. Knight. We had L.A. Knight, who is the $1 million champion, and Cameron Grimes. So yeah, they were in the gym. They were no, the performance center. They were in the performance center and they were working out. Or Knight was working out, and so he saw Josh Briggs. He was working out too, and so Knight he went behind Cameron Grimes' back and he started talking to Briggs. And Knight he was gonna pay Josh Briggs to beat down Cameron Grimes, like soften him up in this match later on tonight because they have a match at Takeover. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so Knight had told Grimes like, "Hey, your opponent tonight is Josh Briggs." And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Imperium. That's Walter, who is the NXT UK champion, Fabian Aichner, and Marcell Barthel. So they spoke backstage. And so they talked about not Imperium, they talked about MSK, the NXT Tag Team Champions, and their match that they're going to have with MSK later on tonight in the main event. And so, yeah, they said that they will make an example out of MSK and become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. And so, yeah, that was pretty much it with that. And so, yeah, of course, that was the main event, or the last match that we saw on the show. Not the last thing that we saw on the show, but the last match that we saw on the show. And so, yeah, so right after that, we had Cameron Grimes to the moon with LA Knight in his corner. LA Knight, who is the $1 million champion, versus Josh Briggs. So, yeah, so we had Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, and LA Knight there on commentary. And so they betted on the match. They betted on the match who will win this match. I think they had like 10 grand. They did the double or nothing. So they double or nothing the bet, or they doubled the bet. And so yeah, so first off, when Cameron Grimes came out, Cameron Grimes he did come out to his own theme music, but LA Knight had interrupted Cameron Grimes with his own theme music, so Knight didn't even want Cameron Grimes to come out to his own theme music because Grimes is the butler. You shouldn't get the shine. So that's what Knight thought. So yeah, so the match, so yeah, we had a big boot to Grimes. So Grimes he tried to fight back, but Briggs was way too strong. And so Grimes he ended up fighting back. And he had a standing Spanish fly to Josh Briggs. I love that move that Cameron Grimes hit, man. Like it literally comes out of nowhere, man. And so to end the match, we had a cave in. We had a cave in to Josh Briggs to win the match. So Cameron Grimes was the match. So he wins the match. And so right after the match, LA Knight, so DiBiase, he was laughing on commentary that, Josh Briggs lost the match and LA Knight owing Ted DiBiase money because they bet on the match. Because, Ted DiBiase betted on Cameron Grimes to win the match, and LA Knight betted on Josh Briggs to win the match. So Knight lost the bet. And so, yeah, so DiBiase was laughing and all that stuff. And so Knight, he had punched DiBiase in his face. He had punched him in his face. And so, yeah, so Ted DiBiase, he did not get his money. He did not get his money, but instead he got a fist to the face. And so, yeah, man, so that was it with that. LA Knight is a great heel, man. He is a great heel, man. He is a great heel. Like the stuff that he's done with Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase, the way that he's treating them, it makes you want to hate him some more, dude. And that's what a great heel is, man. And he's that great heel. He's such a great bad guy. He's like a guy that you want to punch in his face, like so bad. He's so good at being a bad guy. So yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had the way. So yeah, so we had the way. So that's Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and Indi Hartwell. And still no Austin Theory. Austin Theory, I don't know where he is, man. But I miss Austin Theory, man. He needs to be in NXT with the way. Like, he does not need to be on the main roster. I'm telling you, he does not need to be on the main roster. But Indi Hartwell, she was backstage with Gargano and LeRae. And Indi Hartwell was talking about her date that she had with Loomis. And so, yeah, she went over everything that they did. And so Indi Hartwell, she said that she wants to get matching tattoos with Dexter Loomis. And so Indi, she says that, she wants to take this relationship to the next level. So keep that in mind. She wants to take the relationship to the next level. And so the way they didn't like Indi Hartwell's idea, and so they said no, you're not gonna do anything else with Dexter Lumis. You're not gonna get matching tattoos with him. You're not gonna do anything with him. Nothing. And so Gargano and LeRae, they said that they are the true power couple. They're the true power couple of intergender tag team wrestling. And so that's when Dexter Lumis, he interrupted, and he didn't say a word because of course he doesn't speak. So Gargano, he had asked Dexter Lumis how was that cake that he took to that face, because Dexter Lumis, the cake had went in his face and all that stuff. So he asked him how was the cake, and so Indi Hartwell, she said that there was enough for dessert, or she said something about pie, and that was left for dessert or something like that. She said, and so yeah, that was it with that. And once again, congratulations to Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. They're gonna be parents, man. They're expecting the baby, so congrats to both Gargano and LeRae. So right after that, man, we had Mckenzie Mitchell. She was backstage. She interviews Io Shirai and Zoe Stark, who are the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And so, yeah, Mckenzie, she had asked Io and Zoe about their relationship as a tag team. And so Stark, she had said that she tried to get on the same page as Io, to try to learn her culture and everything. And so Io, she had said that she doesn't like Zoe Stark, and that was it. She said something else, but I didn't understand exactly what she said. But she said that she didn't like her. And so yeah, so that was it with that. And yeah, I really don't know what they're doing with the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. I really don't. Who are the next challengers for the NXT Tag Team titles? NXT Women's Tag Team titles? Who are the next challengers? I really don't know. Like you really don't have that many teams. You don't have any teams at all. Like you used to. Well, you had some teams, like less teams, but now you don't have that many teams. Like who exactly do you have? You have Caden Carter, Casey Catanzaro. Who else you have? You had Shotzi and Ember, but you called up Shotzi to the main roster. I mean Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi, they call her Shotzi on the main roster. Shotzi Blackheart, man. Shotzi Blackheart. And who else you had? Candice LeRae, Indi Hartwell. That's not gonna work. And so yeah, and I guess the Robert Stone brand. I guess you could put them in there, or you can say Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. You can say them too. But yeah, they don't have no challengers lined up. They don't have no challengers lined up for those titles. So that's why they never should have made those tag team titles. They never should have made those NXT Women's Tag Team titles. What is the point of having NXT Women's Tag Team titles when you have the Women's Tag Team titles that floats on all brands, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT? What's the point of having the NXT Women's Tag Team titles? Like it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense then, and it don't make any sense now. So yeah, man. So yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had the mixed tag team match, a mixed tag team match, and it was Jessica Maya and Robert Stone of the Robert Stone brand versus Indi Hartwell and Dexter Lumis. So this is Index's debut as a tag team. And so yeah, so Indi Hartwell and Dexter Lumis, they came out together. So Hartwell started copying Dexter Lumis, his look and all that stuff, his entrance. And so so we had Indi Hartwell. She had looked at Beth Phoenix, who was on commentary, and so Beth Phoenix, she had signaled Indi Hartwell to calm down, to relax, and all that stuff, to breathe and all that. And so yeah, this match was a joke. It was a joke, a complete joke. I really didn't care about the match. The only thing important was the ending of the match and what happened after the match. So yeah, so Stone, he tried to take down Dexter Lumis, but he failed. Dude, I don't know what was he wearing? What was Robert Stone wearing, dude? What exactly was he wearing? Dude, what was he doing, dude? Was he a martial artist fighter? Dude, I don't know, man. Like Robert Stone is a joke. He is a joke. I don't know. I don't understand why people how can you take this guy seriously, man? He's a goof, man. He's a goofball. But yeah, Stone he tried to run away, but Monet had put him back into the ring, brought him back into the ring, and then Loomis and Hartwell they took out Robert Stone, the Robert Stone brand, and so the Robert Stone brand they did get some offense in the match, but Loomis and Hartwell ended up fighting back, and then Monet she had grabbed that Dexter Loomis's foot, and so that brought Monet in the ring, and so the referee kicked Monet out of the ring, or she kicked her out of the away from ringside, and so we had a bulldog to Stone from Loomis. And then Stone, he tried to beg his way out of the match. And so Loomis had hit a spine buster on Stone. And so Indi Hartwell, she had a spine buster on Kamea. And so at one point we had Kamea, she had kicked Dexter Loomis in the face. She had kicked him right in his face. For what? I don't know. And then Stone, he went for like a top rope dive, but he missed. He missed and he went splat on the mat outside the ring. And so Kamea, she had punched Dexter Loomis in his face. This is one of the main reasons why I don't like their version of the mixed tag team match. I don't like that version of the mixed tag team match. It's like the way that they do it, oh the men gotta fight the men and the women gotta fight the women. But like dude, why is it okay for the women to hit the men, not the men to hit the women? That's what I don't get. Like it's okay for the women to hit the men, but it's not okay for the men to hit the women. And like do moves on the women in the match. Like, dude, I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. Now in Impact Wrestling, they don't do that. They don't do that in Impact Wrestling. You know, you don't have to fight your own gender. Like the men can perform the move on the women, and the women can perform the moves on the men. But yeah, man, I don't like their rules. I really don't like their rules, man. Their rules are so dumb. And so yeah, man. So yeah, to end the match. So right after Kamea punched Loomis in his face, Hartwell had took out Kamea, and then to end the match we had Indi Hartwell. She had locked in the silence to Kamea to win the match. So Kamea taps out, so therefore Index wins the match. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after the match we had Beth Phoenix. So Indi Hartwell she had walked to Beth Phoenix who was on commentary, and Beth Phoenix had handed Indi Hartwell something. We didn't know what it was, so she handed her something. And so Hartwell, she held the object behind her back. And so she got into the ring. You know, Loomis was in the ring too, and so she got on one knee, and so she proposed. She proposed to Dexter Loomis. And so Loomis, I guess he said yes. You know, again he doesn't talk. So yeah, they said that he said yes. I'm guessing he said yes. And so yeah, so they ended up kissing, and that was it, man. That was it. And how the way feels about that, they gotta be pretty furious. But yeah, at first I didn't expect that proposal. I really didn't. Yeah, that was like they just I don't know, a proposal, married Dexter Loomis, Mr. and Mrs. Loomis. I don't know about that. But yeah, man. The question is, when is the wedding? I want to know what the wedding is gonna be like. That's the thing. That's the most interesting thing. What is the wedding is gonna be like? Will the way get involved in it? Will they ruin the wedding? That's what I think is gonna happen. They're gonna ruin the wedding. But yeah, man, that was it with that. So yeah, so more announcements will be announced about the wedding. But yeah. So yeah, so right after that, man, we had Mckenzie Mitchell. She interviews Diamond Mine. So that's Malcolm Bivens, Roderick Strong, and Hideki Suzuki. So yeah, so Mckenzie, she had asked Roderick Strong about his loss earlier tonight to Dragunov. And so Bivens had told Mckenzie Mitchell to, hey, ask me the questions. Don't ask Roddy the questions. Ask me the questions. I'm the one that does the speaking around here. And so Bivens had said that Dragunov is not a cruiserweight. So the match that he had with Roderick Strong doesn't count. You know, it didn't happen. And so Bivens, he had told Mckenzie Mitchell again, like, hey, if you have any questions about any guys in my group and Diamond Mine, just ask me. Just ask me. Ask me all the questions. You don't have to ask anybody else the questions. Ask me the questions. And so yeah, so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix, she interviews Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion, and Dakota Kai via satellite. So they were on a split screen, and so they were. She asked them about their match they have at TakeOver 36, the championship match. And so Gonzalez, she has said that she's taking out everybody that stepped up to her, she took them out. And so Gonzalez said that she would not take the title away from her. And so Dakota Kai, she has said that she taught Gonzalez everything, but she didn't teach her everything that she knows. And so, yeah, Dakota Kai, she says that she will, Dakota Kai, she said that she made Gonzalez into somebody. She made Gonzalez into a someone, or she made Gonzalez somebody, and then she's gonna beat that somebody at Takeover and become the NXT Women's Champion. And so Gonzalez, she has said that Kai, she likes to use people, and she gets jealous. She'd be the first one to get jealous when they get when they're more popular than her. And so Dakota Kai, she says that in 5 days you'll call me the new NXT Women's Champion. And so Gonzalez, she had called Dakota Kai a sidekick. So yeah, that had to burn, man. A sidekick. And so Dakota Kai, she did not like that. She didn't like it, her calling her a sidekick. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. You guys already know my prediction, man. Dakota Kai should win. She should win. Like the reason why she should win, man, because she, like, time after time again, dude, she's had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity at the NXT Women's Championship, and she lost every single one of them. She lost every single one of them. Like whoever was the NXT Women's Champion and she contended for the championship, she lost. When Io was the champion, she lost to Io. And like, dude, and she's been in NXT forever, man. I want to say since 2017, either 2016, 2017. She was there for that long, and she's never held the gold. She never held NXT Women's Championship. She never held the NXT Women's title. And yeah, man. And Raquel Gonzalez, man, she is doing nothing with the championship right now. Like she's gone through everybody that she had to go through, and yeah, earlier she, just like what she said, she's beaten everybody, but she's never beaten Dakota Kai. And what better person to drop the title to than Dakota Kai? Dakota Kai should be that person to beat Raquel Gonzalez. Just based off their history. And them being friends, being close together. She's the right person to beat Gonzalez for that title. She's the right person to take the title off of Gonzalez. Because anybody else, man, on that roster, no. There's nobody else on that roster that will beat Raquel Gonzalez for that title. The only person is Dakota Kai. And she needs to win this match. And just prove everybody wrong that she's not a sidekick. So I think they will get the title to Dakota Kai. But if they don't, man, they making a mistake. If they don't put the title on Dakota Kai, they are making a mistake. They're making a mistake. That's it. That's it. If she doesn't win the NXT Women's Championship from Raquel Gonzalez, that's it. That's it. No more championship opportunities. I don't want to hear her talk about NXT Women's Championships ever again. Because every single opportunity she had at the title, she lost. But yeah, man, so that's exactly why she needs to win that title. She needs to win that NXT Women's title. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the semifinals of the NXT Breakout Tournament. So it was Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson. So yeah, man. So we had Hudson. He started using his power against Hayes. So Hayes is the smaller guy. And so we had a springboard clothesline to Hudson, and he kicks out. And so Hudson, he started throwing Hayes. Well, he threw Hayes. He threw Hayes over the top rope. And so Hayes started fighting back, but it wasn't working. Well, it worked for a little bit, but we had Hudson. He had an overhead belly-to-belly suplex to Hayes, which was nice, man. And so the crowd started chanting, "You still suck" to Hudson. And so we had a scissor kick. We had a scissors kick to Hudson, so shades of Booker T right there. And we had a tornado DDT to
Duke Hudson on the ring apron, which was a nasty fall, a nasty landing for Duke Hudson. Like, it looked like his collarbone. It was either his collarbone or his face hit that ring apron, and that was nasty, man. Ugh. And so yeah, we had a pump kick to Hudson, followed up by a code breaker, and to end the match, man, we had a diving leg drop to Hudson to win the match. So Carmelo Hayes wins the match and will go on to the finals to face Odyssey Jones. And so right after the match, we had Samantha Irvin, the new interviewer. She interviews Carmelo Hayes, and she asked about, his strategy against Odyssey Jones in the finals. And so Hayes, he had said that he promised everyone that he will make it to the finals, and here he is today. He's gonna fight in the finals against Odyssey Jones. And so yeah, Hayes, he had mentioned, it a final boss. And so Hayes, he had said that he is the final boss. He is the final boss and not Odyssey Jones. And so Jones had came out, he interrupted with his theme music. And so Jones, he had said that, when he wins the NXT breakout tournament, the NXT universe will sound the alarm. And so that was it with that. I don't know why this match is not on TakeOver. I really don't know why. Why is it not on TakeOver? Now the first ever NXT breakout tournament was on TakeOver. It was on TakeOver when it was in 2019. It was Cameron Grimes versus Jordan Miles, or ACH, or whatever you want to call him. And Jordan Miles won the tournament, and really didn't get him nowhere. But yeah, you guys know the story about ACH or Jordan Miles, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, man. But why is it not on TakeOver? Why is it not on TakeOver? Why is it on NXT next week instead of TakeOver? You built up this breakout tournament as a big deal, and you're not gonna have it on TakeOver? Like why, dude? And then another thing, man. Why is TakeOver not? Why is it still in the Capitol Wrestling Center? That's what I want to know. They never mentioned a venue for the NXT TakeOver 36. They never. They never mentioned the venue for the NXT TakeOver 36. They never did. And NXT, they are the first people. They are the first people to announce the venue of a takeover. And the fact that they never announced a venue for a TakeOver 36, man, it just proves that it's gonna be at the Capitol Wrestling Center. And man, we don't want to see it we don't want to see it at the Capitol Wrestling Center. We don't. We really don't. The match card that they have right now, their match card is looking great, man. And you gonna have it in the Capitol Wrestling Center, bro? Come on, dude. I would have loved to have it in Vegas, man. NXT TakeOver Vegas, bro. Dude, that is money. That sounds like money. NXT TakeOver Vegas. And if you can't, if you don't want to do it in Vegas, do it somewhere in Florida, man, and in a bigger arena, man. Nobody wants to see another takeover in a Capitol Wrestling Center. But yeah, man. So that was it with the match. Really good match. And I had some feeling that Duke Hudson was gonna win the match. I really did. I really don't know what it was, but I thought Duke Hudson was gonna win the match. But they're going with Carmelo Hayes to the finals. Now, who wins the tournament? I might have to go with Odyssey Jones. I might have to go with Odyssey Jones to win the tournament. I think with Odyssey Jones, since they came out with that new edict to push the bigger guys and all that stuff, who are under 30 years old or whatever they said, bigger guys who are under 30, and clearly Carmelo Hayes is not the bigger guy. He's not a bigger guy. Odyssey Jones is a big freaking dude, man. He really is. And he can move around. A guy his size can move around in the ring. And I think they're gonna go with Odyssey Jones to win the match. They're gonna go with him to win the finals. And I think, yeah, Odyssey Jones, man, he needs that win. He needs that breakout tournament win. Because Carmelo Hayes, if you guys didn't know, for Carmelo Hayes, he has been featured on NXT. He had a match with Kushida. He had a match with Adam Cole. And dude, you had a match with Kushida and Adam Cole, bro. Oh my god, dude. That's great, man. That's great. And with Carmelo Hayes, he probably doesn't need the tournament because he already broke out. He already broke out when he had his match with Kushida and Adam Cole. So they might go with Odyssey Jones. And going with Odyssey Jones would probably be the right move because he's that type of guy that probably needs to win more than Carmelo Hayes. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase. So they were backstage. They spoke. And so DiBiase, he apologized to Cameron Grimes for getting him in this situation. And so Grimes, he had told DiBiase, like, hey, man, you don't have to apologize for anything. You know, I brought my own self into this position. I brought my own self in this situation. And, you know, I try to make as much money as I can. You know, I try to be this $1 million man with all the money. And time after time again, I failed. And, you know, Grimes, he had said that when he stopped believing in himself, you know, you believed in me. You believed in me. And so Grimes, he had said that, you know, me and you, we're gonna become the $1 million champions, and not become LA Knight's butler or LA Knight butlers. And so yeah, so Grimes, he was fired up and all that stuff, and so DiBiase, he did his signature laugh, and he says, "That's my Grimes." And so yeah, with this, with the Grimes and Knight match, I still don't know. I still don't know who's gonna win. Last week I said that LA Knight is gonna win the match because, you know, to teach DiBiase a lesson, or bring karma back to DiBiase, who was, you know, who was this $1 million man and who treated his, you know, his workers as dirt. So that's what I thought they're gonna do. But the more and more they plan this out, it makes you believe that, you know, Cameron Grimes is gonna win the match. They making you believe that Cameron Grimes will win the match based off of what happened, to this point. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the NXT Tag Team Championship match. So this is the last match that we had on the show before the Joe and Cross face to face. So yeah, it was the NXT Tag Team Championship match. So it was MSK, who are the NXT Tag Team Champions. That's Nash Carter and Wes Lee versus Imperium, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel. And so yeah, with this, I don't know why the champions come out first, or why did the champions come out first. The champions usually come out last in a championship match, you know, because they're more important than the challenger. And it's the challenger that's going after the championship. So, you know, champions should always come out last in championship matches. I mean, they get introduced last in an introduction, so they should come out last. But yeah, so yeah, so with this match, yeah, this is a really great match, man. Really great match. Probably the match of the night for me. So yeah, so Aichner, he started throwing Lee around, and then MSK, they double team Aichner. We had a European uppercut to Carter from Barthel, and then he followed it up with a double underhook suplex, and we had a hot tag to Lee, and he double teamed MSK, they double team Aichner, and MSK, they threw Barthel out of the ring at one point. He landed right on his head, so that had to hurt. And so Imperium, they had caught MSK in midair off a tope suicidas, and they just slammed him on the ring mat, on the outside mat. So that had to freaking hurt. And so Imperium, they took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so we had a clothesline. We had a clothesline to Lee that from Aichner, man. Aichner, he had clothesline Lee. He absolutely floored this guy, man. Knocked him out. And so we had an ankle lock to Lee from Barthel, and then he fought out of it, and then Barthel locked in the ankle lock again. And so Aichner, he had threw Lee into the corner, like really hard. And so we had stereo drop kicks to Lee from Imperium, and then Lee ended up kicking out. And then Walter had came out, the leader of Imperium, he had came out, Walter. And so we had a hot tag to Carter, and then Carter took out Aichner. And so we had a PK kick to Aichner from Lee. And so Walter, he had distracted the referee at one point when MSK took control of the match. And so yeah, this was unlike Walter, man. Unlike Walter. Like, he usually doesn't get involved in the matches. Like when he, you know, when he accompanies the Imperium guys, he never gets involved in a match. You know, he always stays back. But he got involved in this match. And so Dragunov, you know, he came out, he ran out to the ring, and he just took out Walter. And so Walter ended up slamming him on the ground. So and so Imperium, they were distracted by the, you know, by Dragunov and all that stuff, taking out Walter. You know, him brawling with Walter. And so MSK, they ended up hitting their finishing move, that blockbuster, that top rope blockbuster to Fabian Aichner to win the match. So MSK wins the match and are still the NXT Tag Team Champions. So yeah, man, very competitive match, man. The best match on the show for me, the best match on the show. And so right after the match, all these guys, they were fighting each other. Like the brawl had broke out with all 6 of these guys. And so Walter, man, he took out everybody. He took out MSK and he took out Dragunov. So yeah, first he took out MSK, or he took out Dragunov first, and then he took out MSK. He slapped Wesley in his face, and he powerbombed Carter on the ring apron. And then and that's when he chopped Dragunov in the ring. And so Walter, man, Walter was a beast. He was an absolute beast, man. And so and then right after that, Walter, he had choked out Dragunov and left him lifeless in the middle of that ring. So Imperium, they stood tall, and so that was it with that. So with this, I thought this should have ended the show. This should have ended the show. This is great, man. This is great stuff, man. And so right after that, we had Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. They spoke. They talked about Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. And so Holland, he had gave Ciampa and Thatcher props for stepping up to him. And so Dunne, he had called Ciampa and Thatcher, or maybe they stupid. Maybe maybe Thatcher and Ciampa are stupid for stepping up to Ridge Holland. And so Dunne, he had told Holland to, make a name for yourself. It's time for you to make a name for yourself. And so Holland, he had said that he will see them next week. He will see Ciampa and Thatcher next week. And so that was it with that. So it's actually Holland is actually Ridge Holland versus Timothy Thatcher. And so right after that we had the face to face. So before we get into the face to face, now we're gonna do the predictions. We're gonna do the predictions after that, after the Samoa Joe Karrion Kross stuff. So Joe, he had came out to the ring, and Joe, he had said that he's here to hurt Kross. He's here to hurt Kross, and he's not here to talk. And so Joe, he had called Kross to the ring, and so Kross had came out. No Scarlett. Scarlett was not there, just like how Scarlett was never there for him on Monday Night Raw. And so Kross, he said that, this match is not even about you. It's not even about me. It's about the future and all that stuff. And so that's when the crowd had started chanting, "Where is Scarlett? Where is Scarlett?" And so Kross, he had called the security people for Joe. And Kross, he had said that, it's not for me. It's for you. It's for your protection. It's for your protection, Joe. And so that Joe is going to kill you chant from the crowd. And so Kross, he had gotten the ring. He had said that he would drop Joe, and he's gonna drop him real fast. And so Joe, he had took out Kross, so he attacked Karrion Kross. And so Joe, he had a tope suicida, man. Oh my god, man. On the security guards, man. Really nice, man. A guy his size hitting a tope suicida, man. Really nice. And so Joe, he had took Joe, he had took out Kross, inside the ring and then outside the ring. And so the security people, they try to break it up again. And so Joe, he fought off the security guards. And so, both of these guys were still fighting when the security people would try to break it up. And so they took it into the crowd, and they knocked over the plexiglass and all that stuff. And they broke it. They broke the plexiglass. And so, man, this should have started off the show, man. This should have started off the show. You want to start off the show with a bang? That would have been it. That would have been it if you would have started off the show with that and had the Imperium end off the show. But man. But with this, man, it was, to me, I don't know how y'all felt about it, but it felt like it was a little rush. It was a little rush because it was 9 o'clock. It was 9 o'clock. I don't know what time. They have like a 5-minute overrun or something like that, and it was 9 o'clock, like when it first started, the face to face. And so it was rushed, man. It was, but it was good, man. The brawl was good, and just like what I said, I would have had it start off the show, to just start off the show with chaos, and just like, dude, that would have been perfect, man. It would have been perfect to start off the show, man. Instead of ending the show, I would have had the Imperium guys end off the show and had Joe start off the show Joe and Cross, the face to face. You know, that's what I would have done. But yeah, man. So that was it. That was it with that, man. That was it with the NXT. Oh yeah, let's talk about the predictions, man. The predictions for Takeover. So yeah, man. So the predictions for Takeover, Takeover 36. So yeah, so the matches that we have. So we had the $1 million championship match, and if Cameron Grimes loses the match, DiBiase must become Knight's butler. So LA Knight, who is the $1 million champion, versus Cameron Grimes with Ted DiBiase in his corner. And so, might have to go with uh see with this one, man. I am a little iffy on this one. If we would have had Takeover in front of a larger crowd, man, I would have went with Cameron Grimes. I would have went with Cameron Grimes, but I'm going with LA Knight, man. I'm going with LA Knight. And if you want to make LA Knight a mega heel, man, have LA Knight win the match and have Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes as his butlers, and have LA Knight treat them like dirt. If you want to make him a mega heel, man. So I'm going with LA Knight. I'm going with LA Knight to win the match. Now, if we were in a different arena, man, like a larger venue, I would have went with Cameron Grimes to win the match. But I'm picking LA Knight, man. So yeah, so next we have the NXT UK Championship, which is on Takeover 36, and it's Walter, the NXT UK champion, versus Ilja Dragunov. Oh, I'm going with Walter, man. I have a feeling that Dragunov will beat Walter, but I'm going with Walter, man. And so yeah, right after that we have Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm going with Dakota Kai all the way, man. And we have the 2 out of 3 falls count match with Adam Cole, baby, versus Kyle O'Reilly 3. So it's Cole versus O'Reilly 3. I'm going with Kyle O'Reilly to win the match because this could be Adam Cole's last match in the WWE. So I'm going with O'Reilly to win the match. You know, Cole could either be on the main roster, he could either be on the main roster, or he could be in AEW, man. So yeah, so I'm going with O'Reilly to win the match. And so finally we have the NXT Championship match on Takeover 36, and it's Karrion Kross, the NXT champion, versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. And dude, no Scarlett. Scarlett is not in the graphic. They showed the graphics of the matches that's on Takeover. Scarlett is not in there. Scarlett is not with Kross. So how can you not have Scarlett with Kross? They are a package deal, man. They are a package deal. You're gonna have a Kross entrance without Scarlett? Scarlett sings his theme music. You not gonna have Scarlett with him? But yeah, man, I'm going with Joe. I'm going with Joe to win the match. Joe is gonna win, and he's gonna become new NXT champion. And Karrion Kross is gonna lose. He's gonna lose on NXT. He's gonna lose on Takeover 36, and he's gonna continue to lose on Monday Night Raw. So Joe is gonna win the match, and he's gonna become the new NXT champion. And so yeah, man. So those are all the NXT Takeover matches on Sunday. And we do have some matches on for next week's show. We only have 2 matches announced for next week's show. So next week's show, of course, is the finals of the NXT Breakout Tournament. This should be on TakeOver. But it's Odyssey Jones versus Carmelo Hayes, and the winner of this match will be the NXT Breakout Tournament winner. And also we have a 6-man tag team match, and it's going to be Hit Row versus Legado del Fantasma. So Hit Row, that's Isaiah Scott, who is the NXT North American champion. Ashante, the Adonis. Top Dolla with B-Fab in their corner versus Legado del Fantasma. That's Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza. So that's next week. And so yeah, man. So yep, that was NXT, man. And my predictions, the review for the show, and my predictions for NXT Takeover 36. And yeah, man. And just the show, show was good. It wasn't bad. It was better than last week's show, man. It was better than last week's show. NXT Takeover, the NXT Tag Team match was really good. Probably the best match on the show. And yeah, and just like what I said before, man, I did not know that Takeover was this Sunday. I did not know. But they built up this show tonight. They got you ready for this Sunday. But yeah, man, that was it. That was it with NXT the NXT review and my predictions for the TakeOver show. And if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, you're new to the channel, and you're watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. And then right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here every single week, man. I'm here every single week. Tuesdays for NXT, Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, and Saturdays and Sundays for pay-per-views, man. For the pay-per-views, whether it's WWE, AEW, or Impact Wrestling. In this case, Saturday and Sunday is WWE pay-per-views only. So I'll see you guys then. And follow me on Twitter, man. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of NXT. And share this video, man. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, man. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. We had that fifth labor of Jericho, MJF versus Chris Jericho. And that fifth chapter. The final match, the final chapter in the labor of Jericho. And of course, Jericho, he cannot come out to his theme music, so I want to see how that plays out. You know, the crowd is going to sing his theme music, you know, even though he's not going to have any theme music playing. The crowd is going to sing the theme music. So yeah, man, I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait to see it. And so yeah, man, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Dynamite. And yeah, man, and once again, guys, thank you for the support, man. Thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, and thank you, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care. Stay safe. Oh yeah, if you missed my last week's review, if you missed my last week's review of NXT, the video is going to be right up here in this corner, and the link to that video will be down below in the description. So make sure you click up here or down below if you missed anything on that video. And yeah, man, take care, stay safe, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. And don't forget to be awesome, man. And don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.